Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did I hear you're thinking about purchasing an arcade 1-up machine for $400 or $500? GotG is here today to save you some money. You can play all these games and more on the cheap on the PlayStation 2 with collections like these. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Cherry Sour a la mode by Untitled Art. It's a Berliner Weiss style ale with cherry concentrate and milk sugar.
Sounds so damn good. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's go to the arcades on the PlayStation 2.
Hey guys, I'm the Activision Gamer Girl here, and you're watching Gaming Off the Grid.
Long before Arcade 1-Up was able to bring arcades into people's game rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, what have you, gaming consoles were bringing arcade compilations
Yes.
to the home console so you could play arcade games at home, and it's hard to find a console that did it better than the PlayStation 2.
I think the PlayStation 2 was the apex of arcade compilation games. Look at this stack, and we don't even have all of them. So first off, happy 20th birthday to the PS2. It turns 20 this year.
Yep.
We're celebrating it by talking about it all year long. Dude, the compilation games are phenomenal. I
Yeah.
grew up with the Midway games. My stepdad loved it. He never played the PS2 except for the Midway games. So I feel like these compilations brought like different generations of gaming into the PS2, you know?
You know, and now that people are looking at emulation and trying to find ways to play arcade games at home, it's like, hey, maybe before you go spend that $300-$400 on an arcade 1-Up cabinet that has 1 or 2 games on it, 3 games maybe look at some of these PS2 compilations, because you can get the job done on the cheap.
So let's talk about the compilations that we have.
Yeah, so this is kind of a start with the Capcom collection. So we have the Capcom Classic Collection 1 and 2. The first one has Street Fighter 2, 1942, Mercs, Commando, Gunsmoke, Final Fight, Section Z, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, Bionic Commando. There's a few others. Those are the dingers.
So
on this
that's
game, though.
basically our arcade 1-Up, but it's on the PS2 and way
more
cheaper.
And way more. There's way more options.
Yeah, plus way more games.
The second one, Volume 2, is 1941 Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Strider, Captain Commando. That'll do it for that one. I mean, there's a bunch of others, but those are kind of the ones that pop out. Obviously, Capcom was on fire back then.
Were.
And some of these collections, they didn't get it all the way right. You know, some of them kind of have the majority of them are the direct arcade ports. Some of them are like the console versions. Speaking to that, we'll talk about the Midway versions.
Yes, the Midway. There's actually 3 versions of these.
We only have 1 and 2.
1 and 2, but then there is a third one. Let's just start with the first one. Let's go in order.
Yeah, so these go in order, I feel like, of
generations of arcades. Yep.
The first one's your old school stuff. You got Spy Hunter, Defender, Defender 2, Gauntlet, Joust, Joust 2, Paperboy, Rampage, Smash TV, Road Blasters.
Classic arcade
Let's
games.
see here. Root Beer Tapper.
Yeah, not Budweiser Tapper.
Yeah, but
it's still really cool.
So when you get into the second Midway treasures, you're dealing with Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, Gauntlet 2, Spy Hunter 2, Narc.
Which, dude,
it's awesome.
It's amazing on this collection.
Yep. Xenophobe, like not the shitty NES version. Those are just the ones that jump out at me. I'm missing some Pit Fighters on here. Total Carnage is on here. The cool part, which we don't own it yet.
We have bought it on eBay. It's coming.
Yeah, the third one gets into more modern stuff. You have Hydro Thunder, which it's not the arcade port. I think it's the Dreamcast port.
But still, on the PS2, you have Off-Road Thunder. You have San Francisco Rush 2049.
Yeah, which those San Francisco Rush games are badass.
Oh,
so we're excited to get it and put it to the test. I can't speak to how good it is because we haven't ever played it, but it's coming. And we got it for really cheap.
And these things are so amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, you literally pick up one of these, this would last you all year if you just had this in a PS2.
Yeah. SNK fans.
Yes.
Got you covered. It's called Snk Classics Volume 1. To my knowledge, there was never a Volume 2, at least on the PS2.
I'm guessing they had plans for Volume 2, that's why they called it Volume 1, but I don't, like, production or something.
But, I mean, you've got Metal Slug on here, you've got Burning Fight, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Art of Fighting, Top Hunter, The Next Glory, soccer games, gotta love that stuff. We don't know a ton about the SNK franchise, but I do know that a lot of people love SNK arcade games.
Yes, and
it's a sweet collection.
Speaking of Metal Slug that is on this, there's a Metal Slug Anthology on the PS2, which is crazy, and it's really cool because there's a game on this anthology that its first time appearing is in the anthology.
Yeah, for sure. So this Metal Slug Anthology was released on various consoles. I believe the Wii even got a version of this. But on the PS2, playing with a real controller, I feel like is the way to go. And this thing is one of our most favorite things that we have in our collection, not because of the price, but just because of the value. You've Metal Slug 1, 2, Metal Slug X, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All on one disc.
On one disc. Badass games. If you're a fan of run and gun Contra-esque,
yeah,
Metal Slug is right in there.
And then the Taito collection, Taito, I don't ever know how to say it, but we have Legends 2 on PS2, we have Legends 1 on Xbox, but Legends 2, there's some very good value
Dude,
here.
there is some sleepers, and we didn't know about this initially, but we found out that Elevator Action Returns, which is a crazy expensive game, is on this.
Yeah, on the Saturn, it's like ching-ching.
And that's a badass game.
But it's on this collection. You have Darius Gaiden on here as well, so if you're a shooters fan, it's right here. Tons of other games, but those are the ones that jump out. There's over 35 games on this collection, and then there is also, again, the first version of this. I don't think they ever got to Taito Legends 3, but 1 and 2 are pretty badass.
And then, we don't have this one either, but there's an Activision Anthology, which is really cool. It's old school Activision, so it's just mostly Atari 2600 ports, but there's a lot, and that's for other consoles as well, but it's still cool that you can get all those on the PS2.
There's also an Atari Classics.
Oh, is there
that is
really?
available,
Okay,
on the PS2. So basically what we're getting at is the PS2's versatility rears its ugly head again. And some of these, I feel like that this was the era where the home console could literally do anything the arcades could do. That kind of started, I felt like the first console that could really pull that off was the Dreamcast.
Yes.
Some of the Saturn games that were arcade games as well were like House of the Dead. It's not quite right on the Saturn, but the Dreamcast could do it. The PS2 could do it, and with the Midway Treasures 3, you can see some of that modern arcade stuff coming to life. And so from retro to the modern arcade stuff, up to the point at least that the PS2 was out, well, you could do that at home.
It's so badass because there's the gun cons, so it's a lot of arcade things, and I already mentioned it earlier, but it's so cool because if you were a kid that had a PS2, your parents could get into the PS2 because they remember growing up with these games. Be like, hey, Dad, you want to play freaking Space Invaders? We have it on the PS2. That's so freaking cool.
It is, and it's weird to me. We have an arcade one-up. We love it. But it's like, man, we spent $300 for 3 games. We don't even play this thing very much. It's cool. Looks cool. All of these, probably less than $50 that we've spent on all of this, and we have got more arcade games than you could probably ever want right here in this stack of games on the PlayStation 2.
People overlook the PlayStation 2, how badass it is, and a lot of people overlook the compilation, the arcade games.
Yeah. Now it is worth noting that most of these collections are not exclusive to the PS2. You can get a lot of them on the Xbox, the GameCube, and what have you. But I think with the install base of the PS2, and I feel like there are just more people watching who have a PS2 laying around.
Yeah, instead of an Xbox
than those other consoles. But if those are the consoles you have, read your own mail. The same concept applies to whatever you have laying around the house.
Dude, and there is a Sunsoft collection that was only released in Japan, which sucks because we can't get it, and the PS2 is region locked.
Yeah.
But that's still really cool.
That would be badass if we could get our hands on that game. But guys, these collections are so cool. Most of them can be found at garage sales, thrift stores, on the cheap, even on eBay. Some of them are starting to rise in price a little bit. Don't overpay for them because they're out there, and a lot of people don't put any value into these, but they'll go out and spend $300 on a good old arcade one-up machine. I don't quite get it.
I don't get it either.
These things are badass, and it's worth noting because the PS2 turns 20 this year, and it's still as relevant as it ever was. Yeah.
And it's such a hammer. Now let's talk about this beer. Captain gave us this beer, Cherry Sour a la Mode by Untitled Art. This is a Berliner Weiss style ale with cherry concentrate and milk sugar. Sounds super simple. It's super dark. We're both about to finish ours. What do you think?
Man, I can't even put into words how good this is.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
It is like the only reason it's a little bit tart is because of the cherry aspect. There's like a cherry pie crumb cake taste to this.
There's a spice in this that I can't quite distinguish. I think it's like a cinnamon or a brown sugar or something that's in.
And it's like 3 or 4 flavors in line.
Dude,
but it's there.
This tastes like cherry pie with ice cream on the side. Dude, it tastes like fresh cherry pie.
It's so good.
Dude, this is incredible. Like, the cherry taste, it's so
real.
good.
And it's real, because we've said before, like, there's some cherry beers you've had that have, like, that fake cherry taste. This is the real
This
deal.
feels like Thanksgiving cherry pie. Dude, this is so freaking good.
I very seldom finish a beer before the end of an episode.
I know.
But
I'm gonna do it too.
This beer,
My God.
it's amazing. For the style, it's a 10 out of 10. Like, this beer's so good.
Yeah, so good. And if you are a fan of cherries, ice cream, pie, anything related to food, you would love this beer. Like, this, it wasn't super soury.
No.
This is just, oh my God, like so tasty.
Like, this is one of those, this could be dangerous, because I could drink, like, this infinitely. What percentage is this?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't see it on the can, but it goes down really freaking smooth.
Yeah, I'm like, is this even beer? Jeez.
Wow.
Thank you, Captain, and thank you, Untitled Arts. Holy crap, cherry sour a la mode.
This is, like, they've got to be one of the better breweries around.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just dinger after
I feel like this is a sleeper brewery.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't talk about it. And you know what else is a sleeper? Compilation games on the PS2, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you're out and about and you see Capcom's Classic, Midway Classics, any of the games we mentioned in this episode, they are worth picking up. Now, for arcade purists, this isn't all 100% the true arcade ports.
Yes.
Like Midway, you know, Treasures 3 we mentioned before, Hydro Thunder that made it onto there is actually the Dreamcast version, but it's really freaking close. I'd say 85% of the time you're playing the true arcade ports.
But still,
And they do some weird stuff, which I don't know why they did, because they could have just made them, like, really badass. But it is what it is. A lot of people are getting custom cabinets, doing MAME arcades, buying arcade one-ups, and this library's right here.
yeah, you already have a TV and you already have a PS2,
and it's
guys.
so cheap. It's so cheap. It's one of the most economical ways to play arcade games for fans of the PS2 and hell, GameCube and Xbox for that matter. Dig through your boxes, your attics, thrift stores, garage sales, and see if you have some of these games, and bring that arcade experience right to the good old living room. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid, and cheers to the good old PlayStation 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Before you go out and open your wallet and spend $300, $400, $500, $600 on the latest arcade one-up, the PlayStation 2 is super versatile, and today we're going to tell you how to bring the arcade experience home. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And let's rock out to some art. Fuck. Look at... Ooh. Shit. God damn it. And it's red. That's...
Red wine.
You can bring the arcade experience home on the cheap with collections like these on the PlayStation To-Do.
PlayStation to-do list.
Jesus. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you go out and spend $400, $500, $600 on the latest arcade one-up machine, I'm gonna go get a beer.
Yeah, I'll take one.
With collections like these. What are we drinking?
Today we're drinking cherry salad. Cherry
salad.
Cherry salad.
And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's bring that